All right, let's get right into it. We're gonna break down a method for getting a prospect's phone number that's been proven to work time and time again. And the best part? You'll never feel awkward because you won't even really be asking for it. This is all about flipping that moment of anxiety into a moment of pure confidence.
So, you know the scene, right? You've had a pretty good conversation, you hand them your prospecting tool, a DVD, a magazine, whatever it is. That part's done. And then, there's that silence, that kind of awkward pause. You know you need to follow up, and let's be real, the easiest way is with a phone call. But that means you need their number. So, what do you do now?
You know, for so many of us, getting that number is a huge sticking point, and it's almost always built on fear. So let's just tackle this thing head on and break down the 3 big mental roadblocks that are probably stopping you in your tracks.
All right, so let's just get right to the problem. When it comes to asking for a number, there's a right way and there is a very, very wrong way.
And that really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The direct, kind of clumsy approach, just blurting out, "Can I have your mobile number?" It just feels intrusive. It's unprofessional, and yeah, like our source says, it's just plain gross. It immediately puts the other person on the defensive. So why is this so hard? I mean, it's a simple request, but it's loaded with all this anxiety. It's not just you, I promise. There's some real psychology behind why we totally freeze up. Let's break that down. So it really comes down to 3 core fears. First, the big one, just the fear of being told no. Second, you get this feeling that you're crossing a line, infringing on their personal space. And last, and this is the one we don't always admit to, a little bit of hypocrisy. Deep down, we know we wouldn't give our own number to a stranger, so why should we expect them to? Yeah, this is what we're all afraid of, right? That flat out no, or maybe even worse, that awkward brush off. That fear is so powerful. It can stop a fantastic conversation dead in its tracks. And honestly, it keeps most of us from even trying in the first place.
Okay, first up, the big one, just the plain old fear of rejection. Our brains just love to play out the worst case scenario. What if they look at you and say, "You know what, I'll look at this and if I'm interested, I'll call you." Right, we all know how often that call comes, which is never.
The second fear is that you feel like you're infringing on their time, that you're just being a bother. It's that little voice in your head going, "You're interrupting them, they're busy." But you've got to shut that voice down with a stronger belief. If you genuinely think your opportunity is good for them, you're not bothering them. You actually have an obligation to share it and to follow up. And the third fear? Well, this one's interesting. It's really just a projection of our own mistrust. We think, hey, I wouldn't give my number out to some random person, so why would they? And that way of thinking, man, it costs us so many opportunities. The truth is, that prospect might actually be grateful you cared enough to want to call them back. So how do we get past these fears? It all starts with a total shift in your mindset. We have to stop feeling like we're asking for a huge favor and start thinking in terms of, well, simple expectation and fairness. Look at this comparison. The fear on the left, I'm being intrusive. That's the old way of thinking. We need to move over to the reality on the right. After you've given them something of value, your prospecting tool, getting their contact info isn't asking for too much. It's natural. It's fair. You're not asking for their social security number. You're just asking for a phone number. And this quote right here just nails it. The prospect expects this exchange to happen. You handed them something, they know a follow-up is part of the deal. So when you go for the number, you're not catching them off guard. You're actually doing exactly what they subconsciously expect you to do, so don't disappoint them. Okay, now let's get to the good stuff, the centerpiece of this whole technique. This isn't about just winging it and hoping for the best. This is about having the exact word-for-word script that takes away the fear and just flat out gets results.
So you've handed Jack the tool. The first thing you do is get a really simple time commitment. Do you think you'll have a chance to look at it in the next couple of days? It's a super low stakes question, it's easy for him to say yes to, and it keeps that forward momentum going.
Now this next part is so smart because of how it frames the entire follow-up. You make it incredibly low pressure. You're basically saying, look, either way is okay with me, and not just completely vaporizes any feeling that he's being pushed into a corner. It just feels like a logical, no big deal next step.
And there it is, the magic phrase. Notice what's happening here. You are not asking, "Can I have your number?" Nope, you are calmly and confidently just stating the terms of this exchange. This is the exact language that's designed to complete that little give and take cycle we've been talking about.
Let's pull this sentence apart and see why it's so powerful. First, all I ask in return. Bam. That establishes fairness. He owes you something for the tool you gave him. Next, asking for a daytime number just sounds professional and honorable. Words like touch base and see if there's any common interest, that lowers the stakes even more. And then you seal the deal with that killer question. Is that fair? I mean, come on, who's gonna say no to that? It keeps you in complete control.
But I know what some of you are thinking. What if I have a day job? I can only make my calls at night. No problem at all. There is a simple, really elegant pivot for that exact situation.
See the psychology here? It's so subtle. You're just stating a problem that you have. You say your days are nuts and you can't really make calls. So you're not demanding an evening number, you're inviting him to help you solve your problem. And believe it or not, most people have a natural instinct to want to be helpful. It works like a charm.
Okay, awesome. You got the yes. Now for that final crucial step. How do you actually get the number written down without fumbling around and making the whole thing awkward again? The absolute #1 best practice here is to let them do the writing. Hand them your pen and just say something casual like, hey, why don't you jot down your contact info real quick? This does two really important things. One, there's way less chance for error, and two, it makes them an active, willing participant in the process. It's the final handshake of the exchange. Now, okay, if for some reason you have to write it yourself, the key is to look casual and spontaneous. Don't whip out a fancy leather-bound notebook. Grab a napkin, a receipt, even a dollar bill works. It just makes the whole thing feel more natural. And if you don't have paper, use your phone. And this is a brilliant little line to use. You caught me off guard. It creates this subtle role reversal where it feels like they're helping you out. So, the big question, does all this stuff actually work? The answer is a massive yes. These strategies work extremely well, seriously. With a little bit of practice, you can expect this to work 99.9% of the time. So that big fear of rejection we talked about at the beginning, it pretty much just disappears.
But what about that tiny little 0.1%? What happens when, against all odds, the prospect actually says no? Look, this is not a moment of failure. You have to reframe it. This is a test of your posture and of your confidence.
And this part right here is absolutely non-negotiable. If they refuse to give you a number while they're still holding your tool, you must be willing to take that tool back. It reinforces that this was a fair exchange, and if they're not going to hold up their tiny end of the bargain, well, then the deal is off.
And here is the exact brilliant script you use as you casually reach for the tool. It's not confrontational at all. You're not blaming them. By saying, I guess I misunderstood, you take all the responsibility. And what that does is it completely disarms them. And it leaves your confidence and your posture perfectly intact. You just walk away cool as a cucumber.
Okay, so the key to getting past all this, it's not just some clever line you memorize. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about the whole thing. You gotta move from feeling like you're taking something to feeling like you're proposing a fair trade. This slide, this is the whole game, right here. The old way feels like an intrusion because, well, it is. You haven't really established any value. But the new way, it positions your request as the natural, the logical, and yeah, the fair next step after you've already given them something valuable. And this quote just nails it. It doesn't matter if it's a piece of information, a helpful insight, or an actual physical thing. Once you've given something first, the whole dynamic changes. Subconsciously, the other person knows a trade is happening. They are actually expecting you to ask, so don't let them down. So, with our mindset totally reframed, let's get tactical. Let's talk about the actual words you can use that make all the difference in the world. First things first, let's be absolutely clear about what not to do. This question, right here, with no context, no reason, this is what creates that awkward, kind of stalker-ish feeling we talked about. It is all take and no give. Just stop it. Now look at this. Compare that last one to this masterful approach. It's brilliant. It works because it gives a logical, professional, and respectful reason for the request. See, you're not asking for their number for your benefit. You're asking so you can respect their time. Who's going to say no to that? And here's another really powerful script you can pull out. This little 3-step phrase is perfect right after you've given them some value. It's polite, it's professional, and it frames the whole thing as a completely reasonable trade. The magic is all in the details here. Using the phrase daytime number is just genius. It sounds way less personal than mobile number. And that final question, Is that fair? That's the key. It puts them in the driver's seat, it gives them the power to say yes, but you still stay in command of the whole conversation. So, getting them to say yes is a huge win, but it's only half the battle. How you actually, get the number is just as important. These little details can be the difference between looking smooth and confident and looking clumsy and awkward. This is such a simple trick, but it's so effective. When you hand over the pen and paper or your phone, it does two amazing things. One, it pretty much guarantees you won't write the number down wrong. And two, it makes them an active part of the deal. They're physically committing. Okay, this next point is how you look practiced, not rehearsed. You don't want to be fumbling for a fancy notebook. That looks stiff. But grabbing whatever's nearby, a napkin, a receipt, that makes you look spontaneous and experienced. It sends a signal that, hey, this is just what you do, all day long. And of course, if you're in a pinch, your phone is always there. The key is just to be direct and confident about it. A simple, here, just call it your number and I'll pop it in my phone, works perfectly. It's clean, it's efficient, and it gets the job done.
Now, even with a flawless technique, you might run into that 0.1% of people who still say no. When that happens, the absolute key is to handle it with grace and professionalism without losing your cool. This response is just perfect. You're not getting confrontational, you're not getting defensive. Instead, you just calmly and politely take responsibility for the misunderstanding. This completely disarms them, keeps your own confidence totally intact, and lets you walk away from the conversation with your head held high. And there you have it. That's the complete toolkit. By shifting your mindset to a fair exchange and then using these proven, respectful scripts, you can confidently and consistently get the contact info you need to move things forward. So we've walked through the psychology, the strategy, and the scripts you need to confidently get that number. You've got the tools, but remember, getting the number isn't the finish line. It's just the start of the next conversation. So that's what we'll leave you with. You've got the number. Now, what's your first move?